Hi folks, I'm here today to review the Viltrox 20mm 2.8. I just got the package from Viltrox. Disclaimer, they sent it to me for free and I can keep it. But just so that you know that I don't earn anything from it, I had to pay import taxes on it. And if I would send it back altogether, it would cost me the lens price, so it's not that I really gain anything from it, and I don't have any incentive to lie to you or anything else. But I personally asked Viltrox to send me this lens because I own the 60mm lens, which I'm using right now to record this video, and I'm super happy with it. So I was curious to see how the 20mm performs, and also the upcoming 135 1.8 high-end lens from Viltrox that is coming probably, I think, in January and February. I really hope that they will send me this lens to review it, because it should be an amazing stellar lens. Now I'm opening this for the very first time, so we'll now take my usual unboxing knife. Damn, I cannot open it! That unboxing knife sucks. I have to buy a bigger one. Yeah, it's opening now. The warranty card. This one. And now let's really jump straight to the lens. First of all, the first thing you get is the small lens pack, which is kind of cute, knowing that the price of the lens is only $159. So that's a good, nice surprise. So here is the lens. It has the same kind of black from the usual Sony lenses I own, so it's kind of nice. You have a lens hood, very light lens. This lens weighs much less than the Tamron 20mm 2.8. Also because it's not weather resistant. Now let's mount this lens on the A7R4. So first time I switch it on. I will quickly try the autofocus. The autofocus makes a tiny bit of noise, if you can hear it. Don't really like that noise, but the autofocus is fast, so maybe it's just me making fuss about nothing. But autofocus is super fast, the lens is super light. It's also a very small lens, which for me is very important. I'm a hiker and a mountain biker. I live here in the Alps, so I'm often on the mountain, so weight matters. So having a lens that is really compact makes a difference. And the 20mm lens is actually the jack of all trades, because you can use it for landscape, you can use it for selfie recording, and also in a limited way also for street photography. And now I'm going out in the city of Merano, because yesterday we had a lot of snow in the mountains, so I will now go in the city to take some street photography and also some photos of the mountains around to see how well this lens performs. For now, my first impression is that the lens looks very nice. It's super light and I like this. Also super compact, much more compact than I thought it would be. The autofocus is super fast. I just have some issue with that small mechanical noise of the autofocus, but maybe that's nothing and it's normal like this. And I really like that there's a back for the lens. I think that's cute. So I'm happy to test it out. Folks, now I will move my butt down to the city, shoot some pictures, and then let you know how the quality of this lens is. See you soon, folks. So I just arrived at the wooden hut here on Monte Pana, that's in the midst of the Dolomites. Actually, it's the best time ever to come in Dolomites is now, like late November, before the ski area is going to open, and then it will be fully crowded with people. Now there's really nobody, but as you can see, there's already snow all around. And I came up with a ski tour, and I took with me that Viltrox 20mm 2.8. I wanted to test how it performs shooting landscape and also how it performs as a selfie lens. Usually when I hike I only carry one lens with me. It's the 28 to 200mm Tamron lens, which is super light for a zoom like this one. And it's really a near perfect lens for me. The only thing that I miss sometimes is the wide angle. 28 is really not wide enough, and I was usually shooting with my iPhone when I really needed it. So I was wondering now if the Viltrox would be ideal for me in those situations where I need a wide angle shot. And it's so light, it's easy to pack it in your bag. Even if the bag is full, you can still find some place for the small Viltrox lens. So I think I will always now carry this lens with me when I hike, and it allows me to simply get some nice landscape shots without having to use the iPhone, which has its limit, particularly in low light. So you just saw a couple of images I took with the Viltrox 20mm 2.8 lens on the Sony a7R5 that I'm using to record myself now. This is the a7R4, and I already have to make a very important remark that autofocus noise that I was talking to you at the beginning of this video is not really there on the a7R5 while it's there on the a7R4. So probably there's it has more to do with the camera than with the lens itself. So if you're using a modern camera, you should not get that small noise when focusing with the Viltrox 20mm lens. So probably more fault of the camera than of the Viltrox. And I had really some funny time with the lens, because it's really a long time that I didn't have such a lightweight lens with me. So usually I have the 40mm 1.2 Voigtländer or the Tamron 28 200mm full frame E-mount lens with me, and having the 20mm 2.8 really makes a difference in the long run, because you can really enjoy walking and taking pictures and you never feel like it's tiring. And I think that's also the main selling point of the lens, that at the end of the day you could have, of course, a 20mm 1.8 or faster lens that would technically be more impressive, and also you would be more tempted to buy such kind of lens. But I learned in time, after many years of photography, that at the end the gear you use is the gear that you will easily carry around. That's why I also prefer to shoot with Sony cameras than with bigger Canon and Nikon cameras, because at the end I'm a street photographer and it makes a difference to have a more compact and lighter camera. So this lens really fits that kind of philosophy that I really do like. There are some cons and pros of the lens. First of all, I found it to be sharp enough. At least I'm not a pixel peeper. I'm not a real professional landscape photographer that needs that the resolution in the corner is nearly as good as in the center. This lens is not made for those guys. In the center it's sharp enough, and in the corner at 2.8 it's not really sharp compared to the center. Really, like, the difference is major. And so if you're looking for ultimate image quality, this isn't the lens, but it's not. This lens wasn't designed for that. I think this lens was more designed for casual lightweight shooting, for example, yeah, street photography, or if you're like me, hiking often and you want to have something light with you, then you will be happy with the performance of this lens. If you really want to dig into the technical details of the lens, you should check out Dustin Abbott reviews of the Viltrox lens. He made all the chart tests where he explains, for example, that the distortion is less than on the Tamron, but it's a kind of complex distortion, so irregular, so not so easy to correct. And he also made a comparison with the Tamron and the Samyang, and basically the Tamron, which has the same specs, 20mm 2.8, is a bit less sharp, it has more distortion, but you can focus closer with it, which is something that I found usually I do use for example, on a Tamron 28 and 200mm lens. So the Viltrox, you can come close, but not really that close if you want to have some kind of near macro-alike photography. But I think that's not really a problem. And the Samyang lens is 80mm 2.8, so it's wider. The 2mm really make a big difference. I think the Samyang for a selfie would be a tiny bit more interesting than the Viltrox, because the 2mm really gives you much more background, but the lens also is priced at twice as much. The autofocus is worse and the image quality isn't better than the Viltrox. Overall, what do I think about this lens? I think it's a bit of a jack of all trades because it's the most affordable of the three compact lenses you can get, the Tamron, the Samyang and the Viltrox. And actually it's overall probably also the best in terms of image quality and distortion and flare control and so forth. Of course, there's some points where the others are better, but overall I think the Viltrox beats them. It has nearly half the price of the Tamron and half of the price of the Samyang. I think this lens works very good for street photography, because at the end of the day you will always in the long run carry with you the lens that is more lightweight and more easy to use, and this Viltrox really is that kind of lens that you will most often than not take with you when you go out of your home. It's also nice for landscape photography if it's not meant for professional use, like for normal casual hiking, mountain biking. I think this is because of the size and the lightweight, again, something that you will always try to take with you. It also works fine enough for selfie. As I told you in the video, I prefer wider angle than 20mm, but it's wide enough and to use it, and the real advantage again is the lightweight that really makes it possible to hold the camera and the lens for a very long time. My very honest opinion is that if you are on a budget and if you need a lens that does all those things, street photography, casual landscape photography and selfie, then I think there's no better choice than the Viltrox 20mm 2.8. The autofocus is great, it's reliable, the image quality is great for what you need, and it's one of those lenses that really, I repeat it, at the end of the day you are going to use. There are lenses that I did own that are much more exciting, much more beautiful and expensive and faster, that I keep not using because, you know, after 2 times you go like, ah, what the heck, it's too much to carry around. So I think they made a nice job, and I really can't wait what they will do with their next lens, which is the 135mm 1.8 full frame E-mount lens. I had a chat with them, I asked them if I can test the lens, hopefully they will send me one. I think I really want to look how they can achieve the max possible quality, because in their opinion this will be their highest level quality ever for them, and that will match the performance of the Sony 135mm GM for basically a third of the price. So I think this is going to be very interesting to test and see. That's it for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed the review. Please like the video, subscribe the channel, and I see you soon.